installation of Iran's secret underground military bases. These colossal fortifications, hidden deep beneath the earth, serve as storage sites for a vast array of ballistic missiles, and their scale, engineering, and strategic significance have caught the attention of global powers. The existence of these missile cities has raised eyebrows across the world, especially in the United States. In this video, we'll dive into the details of these underground bases, their locations, the missiles they house, and why they've sent shockwaves through international relations. Iran's underground missile bases, known as missile cities, are a major element of the country's defense strategy. Built and operated by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, these hidden fortresses were first constructed in the 1980s and have since expanded with state-of-the-art engineering technologies. The primary goal behind these bases: to safeguard Iran's missile arsenal and ensure that they can launch strikes even under the threat of airstrikes or satellite surveillance. These bases are located deep underground, surrounded by miles of tunnels, bunkers, and missile silos. Their purpose is to withstand any attack, making them virtually impervious to airstrikes. The exact locations of most of these sites remain classified, but it's widely known that many are situated in regions of high strategic importance: the southern provinces near the Persian Gulf, the mountainous central regions offering natural protection, and the coastline where missiles can be aimed at neighboring countries like Saudi Arabia, Israel, and US military bases in the region. Iran's underground missile cities house some of the country's most powerful weapons. These include the Shahab-3, Ahmad, and Khorramshahr missiles, all with ranges of up to 2,000 kilometers. These missiles are capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear warheads, making them a potent deterrent in the Middle East. If Iran ever gains access to nuclear technology, these missiles would serve as a significant threat to regional and global security. Iran's missile program took off during the Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s, when the country was facing a severe shortage of modern weaponry. Initially, Iran relied on China, North Korea, and Russia for missile technology and support. However, over time, the country developed its own missile production capabilities, and today, Iran claims that all of its missiles are domestically produced. But why has Iran gone to such great lengths to build and store these missiles in underground fortresses? The answer is simple: protection and power. First, these missiles serve as a form of protection against external threats, particularly the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, whom Iran views as its primary adversaries. Second, they're a tool for regional influence, strengthening Iran's position in the Middle East by possessing a formidable missile arsenal that can deter foreign intervention and assert Iran's military power. The revelation of these underground missile bases has sent shockwaves through Washington. The United States, already concerned about Iran's growing missile capabilities, has ramped up its efforts to curb the program. One of the key strategies? Stricter sanctions targeting companies and organizations connected to Iran's missile program. But that's not all. Washington is also pushing for greater transparency from Iran, calling for international oversight of the country's military projects. And if former President Donald Trump returns to power, the situation could escalate even further. During his time in office, Trump withdrew from the 2015 nuclear deal and imposed harsh sanctions on Iran. There are even reports suggesting that Trump might consider strikes on Iran's missile facilities as a way to cripple the country's military ambitions. Iran's military is one of the largest and most influential in the Middle East. The country's armed forces are composed of two main branches: the regular army, which handles border security and national defense, and the elite IRGC, which controls Iran's missile program, underground bases, and special operations. The IRGC's influence in Iran is immense, and it's often seen as the primary combat force in times of conflict. Despite its size, Iran's military does face several vulnerabilities. For example, its air force relies on outdated American and Soviet-made aircraft, such as the F-4 Phantom and F-14 Tomcat, making it vulnerable to modern air superiority. However, Iran is increasingly focused on drone technology, including strike and reconnaissance drones like the Shahed 136, which play a crucial role in asymmetric warfare. When comparing the military capabilities of the US and Iran, there's no contest. The US holds a clear advantage. With its modern aircraft carriers, advanced stealth jets like the F-22 and F-35, and a vast network of military bases across the Middle East, the US military is a formidable force. But a direct confrontation would be disastrous for both sides. It could destabilize the entire Middle East and send oil prices soaring, with global economic repercussions. For now, both sides are engaging in a tense game of diplomacy, limiting their actions to shows of strength and economic pressure. But with rising tensions and the possibility of missteps, the situation remains volatile. Any mistake or provocation could lead to a catastrophic conflict. And then there's the nuclear threat. Iran's underground bases, while primarily designed to protect missile arsenals, also house the country's nuclear infrastructure. Sites like the Fordo uranium enrichment plant are located deep underground, making them nearly invulnerable to airstrikes. These sites were specifically built to continue Iran's nuclear program even in the face of military threats. Though Iran maintains that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, the scale and secrecy of these underground sites raise serious global security concerns. Without greater transparency and oversight from the international community, there's a growing fear that Iran's nuclear ambitions could spark an arms race in the region or even lead to direct military action. Iran's underground missile cities are a testament to the country's determination to defend itself and assert its power in the Middle East. But their existence poses serious questions about regional stability and global security. As the world watches, the future of Iran's missile and nuclear programs hangs in the balance, and the international community must decide how best to respond to this growing threat.